in the stone. We call truth in the bone. If you beat, better stand on. Only real one step to the ground. That is that sword in the stone. Hot seats up in your toe. We gon' get sick to the bone. Welcome in to the sword in the stone.
Hey you guys, what's going on? It's Stone the Wise Maximoff, and I am your host of the Sword and the Stone podcast. This is episode 5. Yeah, this is episode 5. Y'all don't know who my guest is. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about something that my guest really likes to talk about, and it is astrology and dating, okay? So, my guest is no other than my partner. Say hello, Reggie.
Back again. Y'all can't get rid of me.
No, y'all cannot. Nope. And we have on matching tracksuits. Very
Yes, we
cute.
do.
Very cute. Very cute. Girl, I'm giving y'all a curl. Okay, listen. He likes the curl. I was like, I gotta hit them with the curl, child.
I had to do it.
And we're gonna do the little salt and pepper. I'm gonna keep it. So I think the curl actually make me look kind of young. So I actually really, really like it. Okay. Now, last time when we did our last episode, I forgot to give you guys a description. So I'm going to give you guys a description of what this podcast is about, and that is just that, all right? And then we're going to get the party started. The Sword and the Stone is not for everyone. It's for those who question power, challenge narratives, and aren't afraid of uncomfortable truth. Each episode pulls raw, unfiltered conversations from beneath the surface, where egos break, honesty sharpens, and real voices rise. No scripts, no masks, no permission needed. This is a space where opinions are forged, silence is shattered, and the truth must be earned. Unfiltered conversation, bold voices, luxury, depth, and authority. If you're listening, you already know not everyone can pull the sword, all right? And if you're here, you're meant to be here. So, and my man is definitely meant to be here, all right?
Definitely.
So, today, you guys, we are talking about astrology and dating, and we're going to jump right into it. Reggie knows how this goes. We have 10 questions, and he doesn't know what the questions are. I do. And that's just that. And you all know that you guys can be a part of the conversation because we have the questions floating across the screen, all right? Also, do not forget to click and subscribe. Definitely click and subscribe, all right? So, Reggie, here we go, babe. Little kiss to start the episode. Mwah. All right. So, let's get into it. All right. All right, babe. Have you ever rejected someone because of their zodiac sign?
I've never rejected anyone because of their zodiac sign, but it gives me pause. Just based off of what I know as far as like compatibility and stuff like that.
Okay, but you never rejected anyone.
No, I've never rejected anyone.
Okay, good. Have I ever rejected someone because of their zodiac sign? No, I've never rejected anyone because of their zodiac sign. But when shit started to hit the fan, I'd be like, girl, that's that
That's
Libra.
why.
Girl, that's that Gemini. That's that. So no, we both never rejected anyone.
No.
Okay, so I'll answer the question first. What sign do I secretly avoid dating? Do I check someone's sign before or after catching feelings? Oh, this is a good one. Well, at this current state, I don't avoid anything because Reggie and I are together. But we are open, and so if either one of us got a third, I don't know if that would play a part. But me personally, now no. But before I got with Reggie, I would say Gemini's. Girl, I married 2 of them, and I cannot stand them. I cannot stand them when it comes to dating. I think they're really good friends. But I've never checked anybody's sign before catching feelings. So absolutely not to that. Babe, I'll ask you the next question. I'll ask you the same question, excuse me. What sign do you secretly avoid dating, and do you check someone's sign before or after catching feelings?
Like I said, I've never rejected anyone, but a sign that I'd probably avoid dating again is a Virgo. And the reason for that is just because of the previous interaction that I had with someone that I dated that was a Virgo.
I mean, we are pulling the sword out of the stone, and it's just us, and it's not going to be a super long episode. So go on and pull the sword out of the stone and let us know about that situation.
We can talk about it, but it's just so I'm an Aries. I'm a very fiery type of person. I like certain things in the bedroom, and unfortunately, that person it wasn't giving what I needed. Um, I'm the type of person like whenever I like to get intimate, like I want to set the mood. I want to have music playing. I call it my R in bed playlist, if you will. Um, but for them, it was just completely different. It wasn't as it wasn't what I needed in the sense that there was one time like we're doing it and like you have guys grocery games playing in the background on the TV. Like that doesn't set the mood for me. That that kills my mood.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Like why are we watching the Food Network?
Okay.
Like that's not okay with me.
But do you think that's a Virgo thing?
I don't think it's necessarily a Virgo thing. I think it was just a him thing.
Okay.
But Virgos, they tend to be really critical at times.
Right.
And sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it, but that's just how they are sometimes. So it's like I can be with a Virgo and I can take criticism. I can take criticism fine as long as it's constructive. But you also have to speak my love language in a way to where I want to deal with it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it makes plenty of sense. Okay. All right. So the next question is, do zodiac signs actually predict relationship success?
Are you answering that first? Or
No,
me?
you are.
Okay. I would say yes and no. But see, the thing that a lot of people get caught up on is they focus too much on sun signs, and there's things that go way deeper when it comes to what can make a relationship successful. As a fire sign, and you're a water sign, so technically on paper we shouldn't be compatible. But if you look deeper, we both have the same Venus sign, which is just like Greek mythology, Roman mythology. Venus is the planet of love and romance. So even though we have different sun signs, because we have the same Venus sign, we are more compatible than people would think.
So I'm going to let y'all know right now, I don't know shit about the Venus and the little sun and the moon rising. I am a very, that froze a little bit. I am a very regular zodiac person, so he knows all of
You
the
like
zodiac.
you like modern pop astrology.
Well, I didn't know anything about the moon and the sun and all of that until people, what's the name of that app? The Star app? CoStar?
CoStar, yeah.
CoStar. Okay. So you would say, so you said yes or no about the predicting success?
I would say yes, but also I would say yes with a caveat. So the thing when it comes to predicting success with zodiac signs, I think that astrology people will take that to be like, oh, I'm, such and such sign, therefore I'm not going to change. I think astrology helps us to figure out different personality traits within ourselves, and you can use that as a tool to make yourself better, not just make an excuse for your shitty behavior.
Okay. All right. All right. Y'all, this is his type of shit. So
I love
okay.
this.
So do zodiac signs actually predict relationship success? I would say they can. They can. They can. But I don't feel like people realize that it predicted it until after. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like a lot of people be like, ooh, like, for instance, Pisces, we are good with Scorpios, we are good with Tauruses, Virgos, Capricorns, and Cancers. And I wouldn't say like, oh, you're a Cancer. I know we're going to have a beautiful relationship and it's going to be successful. So I would say it can. I could say that it does. I would say yes. I definitely would say yes. And even though we're zooming through the questions, Reggie is into astrology, so we're gonna take a little bit of time and let him just, and we have a live audience on my live stream, so we'll let them ask him like a few questions. But y'all gotta send some gifts. Okay. The next questions. Are opposites astrologically stronger or more chaotic? Oh, girl, he about to have a field day with this. Bitch, I don't know. Because him and I'm a water sign and he is a fire sign. He's an Aries and I am a Pisces. And we actually are really, really good. Like, he definitely has changed my life a lot. And I think that there's a lot of things that I've changed for him. So I think it just depends on the signs. I think they can be, because, they do say opposites attract. So I would say they could be astrologically stronger. I don't know. Hold on one second. This is a one-man show, girl. So I don't know, Reggie. What would you say? Are opposites astrologically stronger or more chaotic with the signs?
It depends. There's a reason why there's that phrase that opposites attract, right? So, typically, because I'm an Aries, my perfect match, right, in astrology would be a Libra, and that's just because Libras are the exact opposite of me. And the reason why we work so well together is because you're actually a Libra rising.
Here we go. I don't know shit about the risings, girl.
He doesn't know anything
what
about
is
the
a Libra rising, girl?
So, if y'all aren't into astrology, we call it your big six, right? So you have your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mercury, and your Mars. That's what makes up the basis of your personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your rising sign is kind of, so even though he's a Pisces, we experience him as a Pisces through the filter of Libra because that's the image that he projects out to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like, it's like the make and model of the car, right? You project Libra rising a little bit.
Okay.
Even though, yeah, I would say, yeah, and that's probably what attracted me to you in the first place.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I get it. I get it. I get it. I do get it. Okay. So I think I answered the question first. Okay, I did. Okay. He's about to get really into this. Is birth chart compatibility more accurate than sun sign?
Yes, because the sun sign is only a piece of the puzzle. You can't just take sun signs into account because there's other things that are going on. Like I said, the Venus sign is actually uh where you find how you speak one another's love language, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then your rising sign is actually the most important because it kicks off the rest of your birth chart. So for you, for example, you're a Libra rising and you're a Pisces sun. Your Venus sign is in your 6th house.
Okay.
So within astrology, there's 12 houses, just like there's 12 zodiac signs, and each of the houses are ruled by a zodiac sign and a different planet, if you will.
Okay.
So with your Venus sign being in your 6th house, the 6th house is known as the house of health, but it's also known as the house of service.
Okay.
So I've learned with you show, I would say your love languages are one, gift giving,
Mm-hmm.
and acts of service.
Yes.
So
Correct.
that's how I know that there's some truth to it because with us, I know how you show your love through your Venus sign because of your rising sign.
Okay. Ooh, y'all getting it down there? They said you know your shit. Girl, he does. And he loves astrology, girl.
I love it.
Okay, so girl, I'm gonna answer, is birth chart compatibility more accurate than sun sign? I don't know. I don't know, girl. I'm like Kiki, girl. Sorry to this man. I don't know. So that's my answer. I do not know, but I'll learn. But I don't know. So that's my answer. Okay. Me first. Is labeling signs as red flags limiting your dating pool? Absolutely.
1000%.
Absolutely. I definitely do believe that. I have a lot of girlfriends that will not date somebody because they're a specific sign, and I don't think that is cool. I think everybody's different. Even though I'm married to Geminis, if Reggie was a Gemini, I wouldn't be like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Because I've learned from every mistake that I've made with the Geminis, I've learned lessons and I've learned how to deal with them. Like my 2 ex-husbands, And it was platonic, girl, for the bag. My two ex, I'm a girl. I am not. What's the rich lady? Elizabeth Taylor, girl. They call me Elizabeth Taylor of the gays. Darling. I just haven't found me a rich one yet. But Reggie and I will find us one, darling. Maybe somebody that owns some shit up in the mountains.
Maybe.
But what I will say is, with my Geminis, what I've learned, they think that their way is the way. That's how Geminis are. Geminis feel like their way is the way. What I've learned from dealing with Geminis, I will tell a Gemini like, yep, I'm making my grandmother's special gumbo. And what a Gemini will do, they will watch you and they'll be like, well, I think that this is the right way for you to do the gumbo, even though your grandmother gave you the recipe. I think that my way is the way. That's how Geminis are. And what I've learned from Geminis, they will also make you feel stupid. They will make you feel like, oh, your way was dumb. My way wasn't. See, somebody said they can't stand Geminis. So yeah, I would definitely say though, ultimately, I think labeling signs as red flags definitely does limit your dating pool. What do you feel about that? About labeling signs as red flags limiting your dating pool?
It definitely limits your dating pool. Like, there are certain people that are like, oh, you're a Scorpio, I can't do it. I personally, I love Scorpios.
I do too.
Scorpios are, I just love them.
I love them. I love me a Scorpio.
But there's some truth to, you know, the stereotypes that come with certain zodiac signs, and I think that it's a good reason to give people pause when it comes to certain things. But will I ever say, oh, you're, let's just say, because I already talked about Virgos, I'm not saying that I will never find another Virgo and I'll be like, you know what, we can make this work,
right?
Like, but it is going to give me a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole again.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yes, y'all. This is my man, my roommate.
Not
Let y'all tell it, girl. People are crazy.
And
all right,
they were roommates.
girl. Let me tell you something. People are crazy. Being an influencer, girl. First of all, my man is not black. He's white.
Right.
Let them tell it, girl, because he speaks eloquently, honey. Oh, it's just it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It is. Okay. This is for you first. Should astrology guide your dating choices at all?
I wouldn't say it should guide it, but kind of like what I said earlier, it's a tool, right? It's how you learn to accept the other person for who they are. And there are sometimes that, especially when we first started dating, and like, obviously you're sober now, so it's a lot better, but there were a couple times where like things would happen and I'd have to look at your chart and be like, all right, what the fuck is going on in his brain right now?
Right.
Just so I could understand you and kind of sympathize with you and understand where you were coming from. So I think if you use astrology like that, then it could help you in the long run.
Yes.
To make relationships more successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I do. I will say that I think that it should. I do say that because there have been a lot of things that, like, a lot of times, like when we did argue, because we don't argue at all anymore, but there will be times that we was like really like going at it, and he would say, well, around this time last year, the Venus was here and the Mars was there and this, that, and the third. And you know, I'm ignorant to astrology to that depth. So I didn't mind learning. And to be honest, a lot of things that he has taught me has been right. Like even about my life right now, everything has been aligning for me. And he broke down where the planets were placed and where they were positioned and where the moon was and this, that, and the third. And because he's been so right about that, I've just been open to being like, you know what? And like a lot of stuff, even when fucked up shit happened to people that I used to fuck with, I'd be like, "What you did? What's going on?" And he'll be like, "Well, child, the moon is in this, and the Mars is in this, and that's what's going on." And so, yes, I definitely think that it does help with relationships. And yeah, you should if you're open to it, you should let astrology guide your dating choices. I would say that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Me. Is refusing to date certain signs shallow? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like somebody can end up being the love of your life, and if you decide not to date them because the signs say you're not compatible, I think that you are really missing out. I think it's shallow as hell. I think it's very shallow. I think it's one of the most stupidest, that's not even a word, but most stupid, shallow things to, oh girl, I didn't date him because he was a Libra. I think that's stupid. Give somebody a chance. If it doesn't work out, then you can say, okay, girl, it didn't work out. I was right. He's a Libra. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like refusing to date certain signs is shallow?
It's definitely shallow. I would agree with that, but I would say it's shallow in the sense that, again, the sun is only a part of the whole puzzle when it comes to astrology. You gotta, and that's why a lot of people a lot of people sometimes they don't know what time of day they were born, which is fine, but there's other pieces to the puzzle that can make relationships work, and you actually would be surprised, even though you're traditionally not supposed to, you know, be compatible with someone. Like, you could make it work if you really put in the work to make it work.
Okay, work. I'm here for that. I am here for that. This is you. Would you rather date someone compatible on paper or someone you have chemistry with?
Mm, definitely someone that I have chemistry with. Because if we don't have chemistry, then it's a no go for me. There, especially with me being an Aries, being a Aries Venus, like I need someone that I have chemistry with. Otherwise, I get bored and I want to move on to the next thing. And that's probably why before meeting you, my longest relationship was only 6 months,
Hmm.
because I would get bored and I'd be like, you know, it's time to move on to the next thing. I could do better alone and just living my best life, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes okay. I get that. For me personally, absolutely not to the compatible on paper. Um, no. No. If the chemistry is not there, I can't do it. I can't. You know what I mean? I just can't, because life is not instructed by papers. I mean,
Hmm.
certain aspects of life are instructed by papers, but I've learned just just being a gay man and just seeing how the world has changed. A lot of people, like our parents and our grandparents, a lot of people are so enslaved by societal constructs,
Mm.
and they're they're so loyal to that, but the world is always changing. So no, I definitely rather be I'd rather date somebody that I have chemistry with. Absolutely. Cuz I've never, well, Reggie's the second Aries that I've been with, but all the Aries in my life, I'm very fond of them. My best friend Dylan's a Aries, Handsome's a Aries. My sister, she's a Aries like cusp with Pisces. Okay, so this is the last question, and then we'll let y'all hold on one second, y'all. Give me a second. To my admin down there, can you mute some of those people like Love and stuff? Can you mute? Actually, matter of fact, you can do me a solid. Kick them out. Kick them out immediately.
Gone.
Thank you. Kick them out. Sorry, y'all. I'm live streaming as well. Okay. This is the last question, and then Reggie will answer a few questions about zodiac signs down there in the comments. Are zodiac signs intuition or delusion? Ooh. Um, I would say intuition. I've always felt like zodiac signs represent the spiritual characteristics of a person. That's what I believe. I feel like if our flesh was stripped and we were just orbits of energy, I feel like the zodiac signs, like if we didn't have no features and stuff like that, no color, no gender, no race, none of that, I feel like zodiac signs, I feel like they represent the spiritual characteristics of a person. I really do. So I don't think it's delusion. I would 100% say definitely intuition. Babe, what do you think? Are zodiac signs intuition or delusion?
It's 1000% intuition, in my opinion. The way that I like to tell people who like don't understand astrology, or they don't understand, they're like, oh, you know, you can't the positions of the planets, blah blah blah. You can't use that to define a person. I call BS on that because, and we could bring science into it. The moon, right, controls the tides of the oceans,
Hmm.
and the ocean is 75% of the planet, right?
Right.
So if it's powerful enough to control the tides of the oceans, and we are also mostly water in our bodies, like the moon has effects on us. You, if people who work in restaurants, people who work in hospitals, whenever there's a full moon happening, everyone knows that it brings out the crazies. So it definitely is intuition, and it's not delusion, because even though a lot of people will call it like a pseudoscience, I'm not saying that astrology controls everything, but honestly, astrology is pattern recognition, if that makes
Right.
sense. There are certain things that have happened over and over and over again since the dawn of time, and that's why we have the astrological system that we do today.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, we went through those questions very, very fast. This was a very, very um quick 10 questions.
It was.
Um, but I think I do have a nosy stone, and then you can ask. I think I have one off of the top of the dome, and then we'll take some questions from the audience. Y'all make sure y'all ask some questions because he's really good with astrology. In your opinion, what sign is the craziest to you and why?
The craziest. Um, it depends on what we're talking about. If you're talking about crazy in terms of, let me call up this person because I know we're gonna have a crazy good time and they're the life of the party. I'm gonna have to go to my fire signs for that. Sagittarius, Aries. There's a reason why people don't fuck with us sometimes, because we do get feisty. But when it comes to crazy, the type of person that I don't ever want to get in an argument with is a Taurus, just because of how stubborn they
Oh, okay. My sister
are.
was a Taurus, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer that, and then Reggie can ask me a nosy stone, and it doesn't have to be about astrology. It's just something y'all don't know, and he might, Oh, I would say the craziest sign is a Cancer.
Mm.
I know a lot of crazy Cancers. I think Cancers are unhinged. I really do. Miss Thing was a Cancer. Thou we shall not say. I just and let me tell you something. I don't mean crazy bad. I
Mhm.
think when a Cancer really loves you, it's crazy love. I
Mhm.
think when a Cancer is really mad at you, they are crazy mad at you. I
Mhm.
think when a Cancer is very sad, they are crazy sad. I just think that Cancers can be very, very off the chain,
Mhm.
very unhinged. No, I'm not fixing nothing because you got to remember I'm a water sign, so I feel like a Pisces is the best of a Scorpio and the best of a Cancer. I think we represent both because we are double sign. That we have we have the two fish. So
Mhm.
I think that I'm Cancer and I'm Scorpio mixed into one. I am talking July Cancers. Yes, I am. Girl, yes. I am talking July Cancers because
July
Miss Thing is
cancers
a
can be a
Cancer,
lot.
Cherry is a Cancer, Wendy is a Cancer. Yes. Babe, what do you have a crazy stone?
Um,
And we got my people here, so he can ask me anything.
what zodiac sign do you think is the best in bed?
Oh, Scorpio.
Yes.
I, I I don't mean no shade. I love my man. He's an Aries, but girl, I just think Scorpios are just nasty, and they just I'm not trying to be fierce, but I've
No,
heard
you're
this a
good.
lot. I've heard this a lot, but I feel like a Scorpio. I feel like they are. You said that's not even a real question. It is a real
That
question.
is a real
I
question.
think that Scorpios are the best. What sign do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think Scorpios are too, but bringing it back to astrology and the reason for that. Um, they're so Scorpios. they rule the eighth house because there's different houses, right? And the houses represent different things. So Scorpios, they in the eighth house, they're ruled by the eighth house. So the eighth house is sex, it's death, it's rebirth, it's all of these different things because they're kind of an enigma. But Scorpios are just they they know what they're doing when it comes to sex. They do. And me, because I'm an Aries and Scorpios, they're both ruled by Mars in a classical astrology. So a lot of my best friends are Scorpios. And there's a reason why Aries and Scorpios tend to get along a lot because we're ruled by the same planet, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. I love that. Okay, you guys. So that's the end of the questions. I do have a live audience. I am an influencer on the Beagle Live app. So y'all ask some questions. Ask some questions. Keep them coming because we
Ask
are
me some good ones.
we are live. We are recording. So let's get some questions. I'll do about 3, and then we'll talk to y'all off the podcast. Thanks for doing this, babe. For sure. Come on, y'all. I know y'all got some questions. Okay. Somebody said, what are your thoughts on Taurus?
My thoughts on Taurus. So I'll be honest with y'all. I love every single zodiac sign. I think that every zodiac sign has its merit. Tauruses, they're ruled by the planet Venus. That's why I would say Tauruses are probably one of the most romantic zodiac signs.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. They're just very sensual. They like they just classically like romance. So I think Tauruses, they sometimes get a lot of flack for being stubborn, for not wanting to go out of the house. They have the the stereotype of only wanting to be at home and eating food and all that stuff. But Tauruses, like, they have their place in astrology just like everybody else, and I love Tauruses.
I love that. Okay. Do you think everyone's connects to their zodiac?
I would say yes and no. There are a couple people where you can look at them and you can tell what their zodiac sign is, but then there's others that will completely surprise you. But it's because of, like I said, the big six that makes up their entirety of their personality. So if someone has, even though their sun might be a Taurus, just because we were talking about Tauruses, but they might have a stellium in a different zodiac sign. So a stellium is when you have 3 or more planets in a certain zodiac sign. So even though someone might be a Taurus, they might have more Aries qualities and they might project that they're an Aries because they have more planets in a different zodiac sign from their sun sign. So that's why they give off a little bit of a different quality.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm doing business stuff too. All right. And then we had another question from Holistic Healing. Holistic Healing said, sorry, you guys, I'm multitasking. What do you think about Aquarius?
I love Aquariuses.
Okay.
Like the majority of my friends in my life have either been Scorpios or Aquariuses. Aquariuses, they're known as like the humanitarians of the world. They think otherworldly, and sometimes they do have a little bit of a god complex where like they think they are God's gift to humanity. But I love Aquariuses for that because they are very forward thinkers and they push us forward as a society.
I love that. I love that. Well, you
Aquariuses
guys,
down.
we are going to take this to my live stream. Babe, I want to say thank you so much.
For sure. Thanks for having me again.
Yes. One thing that I want to do is make sure that I have a lot of episodes ready for y'all. And my boyfriend has been pushing me to do this podcast for about 2 years. Well, around since we first got it started. And he was off today. So I was like, hey, would you like to do that? And that is one thing I will say real quick about us that I love. We mesh very well. He is definitely more like into like enjoying being home and stuff like that. And these are the type of things that he enjoys. So I love that we were able to do that. Reggie, let the people know where to find you at on IG.
You can find me at IG Max R_B. He'll probably have it posted
I will.
here or somewhere. You can follow me there. Like again, I don't post a lot, but I'm trying to be better about it. I'm trying
Right.
to. I'm trying
Right.
to.
Yep, and that's it, guys. So thank y'all so much. You guys will see this episode really soon. I have a really nice episode that we're shooting this Sunday, and we're gonna keep it coming. Just please make sure that y'all do not forget to click below and subscribe. Click below and subscribe, all right? So let's finish this up so I can do my little after show. You've heard the truth. What you do with it is on you. Until next time, keep your grip firm and your blade sharper. And we out. Bye.
Come.